Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. That's Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have a HomeGymCon update. We're going to continue updating as we are, Jake, what is it, like 30 days from HomeGymCon?
Dude, I think it's 30 days.
30
Exactly.
days. Awesome. We have a new release from Rep. It's the ARES 2.0. We're coming back to that conversation we started last week, the Bulletproof Isolator cable tower versus the Rep Adonis. So the cable battle, and we have some input from the community. So we'll talk about that. Before we get to that, though, we are going to have a survey results where we go through specialty bar level of interest, and we're going to wrap it up. Jake has a Would You Rather home gym edition for me. Jake?
That's probably going to be the best part of the podcast. But anyways, like Adam said, 30 days out from HomeGymCon, we're still adding vendors. So last week we added 8X, Clubs and Maces. So I actually saw him on the Garage Gym Life podcast, and John was kind of hyping up HomeGymCon, and they said it was on their radar. And you know, I was able to just kind of message them after with the help of John and get some clubs and mace action into the convention, which, you know, is pretty cool. And it's not something we really had. Not sure if everybody knew, but Kabuki did drop out, but they're back. So that's cool. Chris Duffin will be in French Lick. They're actually joining forces with the Mayhem Strength booth, but they'll have all of their bars. Like I said, Duffin will be there. He's going to do a few different things. So number one, he has a podcast with Rob that he's going to do live at 10 o'clock, I believe, on Saturday. And then we're also going to get him on the schedule to do a live demo of the new Transformer X bar, which should be pretty cool. And something that I think a lot of people have seen, and we talked about it on the last roundtable, where it looks interesting, but I don't think everybody really knows exactly what it is. So that will be cool. I'm really happy that, you know, Duffin himself will be there. Quantum Trainers will be there. They have their newly released Quantum Trainer Pro. It's kind of like an all-in-one type machine. Kind of tough to explain, but you can do a ton of different things on this tool. And then Pro Sledge, which is like their weight vests that can, I think you can add all the way up to 106 pounds. So they have like a 48 pound option and then a 106 pound option, which I think would be really cool. You know, just thinking about my use on the stepper. Pretty cool. So quite a bit heavier than most of the weight vests that you'll find out there. So again, we're going to keep trying to add vendors all the way until that bell rings. Hopefully we can get to 100. And then also last week we touched upon a few new of the content creators. And I'm looking at my eye. Just if anyone's watching, I do have something wrong with my eye, so don't mind me. But anyways, for any of you first-time listeners, my eye isn't usually this red. So, you know, I'm looking at this list, and we have like 20 content creators going to HomeGymCon that are going to create content. So Garage Gym Life, the Kurt Locker, Matt Pendergraph's bringing his photography skills, Flex Marks the Spot, Vintage Weights PGH, Luke's Garage Gym, Carp's Gym, Gym Crafter, great home gym website he has, if you haven't heard of him, Mark Rosenberg, a.k.a. Deadliest Lift. He'll be joining the deadlift party, and then, you know, I think he'll probably do a few other things. Gorecki Fit, he has a YouTube channel. Keith Honeycutt, the No Wine Cellar, you know, the podcast host. And then we have Garage Gym Experiment on there.
Yes.
Both Adam and I will be definitely intrigued and capturing content as much as we can. Really,
For
more
sure.
These people will more than us, but
Yeah, formerly known as Eccles Basement, now the Icebox Gym with his gym in the backyard. Eric Eccles will be there. Andrew Haynes from Henius Strength will be there with the strongman competition. Ashley from Ashley the Amazing is going to be there. Kaizen DIY Gym, Matthew Porter, Porter Phys Ed, Freedom Fitness Equipment, Glux Gym, and Massonomics, brought to you by Bells of Steel, are going to be out there. Nice Like Mike and Huck Finn Barbell is going to be out there too. It's going to be a blast. Man, I can't wait. I saw this list. I just started smiling.
It's bigger. I started putting it together yesterday, and it was bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
So really cool. All right, and then earlier today, it is the 27th of March. Rep previewed their ARES 2.0. So it's not currently for sale, but should be soon. So, and then I pretty much just took these improvements that are listed on the screen from their Instagram post. So here they are. So the weight stacks are pushed back for more room within the rack. So this helps with things like incline bench, maybe only incline bench. But yeah, that's a big key. Offset trolleys for more range of motion, so they are offset of the post. So it should be more of a functional trainer movement. The cable routing is updated so that it doesn't disrupt as much space on the rack. This is specifically highlighting where it takes up more space at the top of like 80-inch racks, which makes it a little bit more difficult to squat when it's up all the way up at that highest position. They moved the low row pulley higher so that there is potential to use it on a bench. If you I'm not quite sold on this feature. It's a cool feature, but it looks like it's kind of like at an angle. It's almost like you have to use like a decline bench and like angle down. But it will be at HomeGymCon, and we can kind of test that out for ourselves. And we'll answer that question here in a month or so. Independent swivel pulleys added to the lat pull down that move with your natural range of motion as to just straight and back. So big improvements here. I mean, the most notable thing for me is since Rep was the first one to really bring something like this to the market, at least to my knowledge, they also went to they took the feedback right away and made a 2.0 version, while some companies are just coming out with their first version. So they are just kind of a step ahead of everybody else who followed their lead. So that's kind of my main feedback. If you also, it's kind of funny because if you look at the Instagram comments, it's mostly people with the ARES 1.0 just kind of complaining like, oh, wish I would have waited for the 2. But
I saw a couple asking for a conversion kit. And I mean, that's just what happens when you buy like something new to the market. Like there's going to be improvements put on it. Like that. I understand their disappointments, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. And my only real question was that if it does feel natural on a bench, and maybe it does. It feels like they would have taken that into consideration, and they wouldn't really market it if it felt weird. So,
yeah. Well, even if you're pulling from the floor, I think having it a bit elevated is better. All the low rows like I've ever used on rack attached systems, they're all very low, and naturally I wanted it a little higher, so I'm meeting the bottom of my chest even when I'm sitting on the floor. So, but yeah, off a bench, with you. I'm curious to see how you would do that. So, luckily, we'll be at HomeGymCon, and we can check it out.
Yeah, I did ask on Instagram, and they said, "Yep, it'll be there."
Sweet.
They actually told me at Ursa too. I was just kind of fishing for a response. So, next up, survey results: specialty bar level of interest.
Yeah, we just listed a handful of specialty bars, and then you guys rated your level of interest between high, medium, low, or you don't know. So I'm going to take the top three, bottom three, and then Jake's going to fill in the rest. The number one, the highest level of interest was a safety squat bar. Number two was an open trap bar, and number three was a multi-grip bar. Bottom three, so if we go the bottom of the barrel, the lowest high interest rating was a log bar. Just above that was an axle bar, and then the bamboo or tsunami bar. So up top, we have some very like general style barbells, and then at the bottom are those highly specialized ones, which makes sense.
Yeah, and then just a few other things to note. I just saw there's quite a bit more interest in a deadlift bar versus a squat bar. Also, the transformer bar beat out the Mars bar. So, for example, 23% said high interest, whereas 16% said high interest for the Mars bar. Buffalo/Duffalo bar beat out a bamboo bar. The full list is on the screen. And then just to compare to last year, as you could probably expect, there wasn't too much change. The top two didn't change at all. The safety squat bar was number one. Open trap bar still number two. The multi-grip bar, though, actually took over the curl bar for third place. And then something else that was notable was the camber bar went from 10th place last year to number 6. That was kind of a shocker. And then
Yeah, we're going to bring back that conversation like we said we would last week. Was the Adonis kind of came out for pre-order, and kind of at the same time, Bulletproof released their cable isolator, which has the lat pull down cable tower, functional trainer kind of thing, where you can also attach what looks like the help me, Jake, the isolator onto it. And so after you guys voted, it stayed pretty close. 52% said they preferred the Rep Adonis look compared to 48% the Bulletproof Isolator. But we wanted to get your feedback. So Jake's going to share some of your comments that we gathered from Instagram.
Yeah, so we started touching on this last week, but the Instagram post was like an hour old when we started doing this podcast, and I had already noticed some really good comments. So I'm going to just read some that kind of highlight who's choosing what and why. So number one, Jake Stevens 19. Love rep. Got to go Bulletproof on this one. The cable-driven leg extension / curl is huge. And I was thinking about that too, that is a really nice benefit if you can use like a cable, like a leg curl / extension, specifically stack weight at the same time that you can do kind of lat pull down. That'd be like a nice little combo where you don't have to go back and forth. I don't know how much work would have to be done for that, but would be cool. Definitely not something that you could do on the Rep Adonis yet. Who knows? Maybe they'll add something like that. AEZEDR said, Bulletproof easily. I have a small space and can't fit all the machines I'd like in my home gym. It takes some fiddling, so be it. So to me, this one's kind of saying, like, I have room for one specialty piece of equipment. I'm going to go with something like the Bulletproof one because that eventually could turn into every single thing, even if it's a little bit more work. Larcento 2019 said, for me, the Adonis, a couple reasons. All I need is a lat pull / low row and nothing more, and it integrates with their modular storage system. Though having a lot of versatility seems good in theory, I feel the added complexity will lead to more time spent changing setups than working out. Regardless, both Rep and Bulletproof are doing a lot of great things for the home gym community. I'm curious what Irwin Fitness is going to release. You didn't catch the teaser on January 3rd. Also, what other product is Rogue going to release to compete in this space? So, yeah, that one makes sense. Dave SCHN said, just because they're similarly shaped doesn't mean they're all the same thing. Rep Adonis is a lat pull down and low row. That's it. Bulletproofs is an entire ecosystem platform with attachments to do everything from leg extensions to leg press and hack squats. Now, time will tell how that shakes out in the real world, as Bulletproofs isn't in production yet. But this is not an apples to apples comparison. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this one, because if you're not gonna buy both, so I think you are actually choosing between one or the other if you want something like this in your home gym. That you're just choosing if you want something that's all in one, or you're going to buy this and then also a few other things if you want that full setup. Howell 1049 rep. They'll have a leg extension curl attachment this year, and they're more proven and tend to do pretty well on first releases. I don't know if he has any insight or if he's just guessing, but I mean, that would change a lot of people's opinions, I think. And then lastly, Nice Like Mike said, both seem intriguing. I like that the Bulletproof lat pull seems to extend further out, making for a more vertical pull. I also like that the Bulletproof foot plate should allow for rows from a bench versus the floor. That said, I don't foresee myself leveraging all the versatility Bulletproof is teasing out, plus the storage required for all those extra parts. Either way, I'm hoping to get to try them both at HomeGymCon. Well, you'll definitely be able to try the one at Rep. I don't think the one at Bulletproof will be ready, just because it seems like he's just foreshadowing renderings. But cool feedback. Anything else to add, Adam, before we move on?
No, that was good feedback. I found myself, leave it at that.
All right. Next up, we're taking a little bit of a break from our home gym build, and I actually have some would you rather home gym edition questions for Adam. All right, number one. I think this one's a little more basic. All right, sound system or a TV for your home gym? Which would you rather have?
I think I'd rather go TV. I consume a lot of home gym content, and then my home gym is kind of my hangout place too. So it's like where I like to watch games, pick up on a show, stuff like that. I'm going TV over sound system for this one.
All right. 9-foot ceiling in a garage gym or a 7-foot ceiling basement gym? Which one are you going with?
I'm living it out right now. I'm choosing 7-foot ceiling in my basement gym. Just the comfort of having the kids down here playing with me and not having to deal with weather. Yeah, just walking down and getting a lift. I'm going basement gym on this one.
Okay, what if it was a 6-foot ceiling basement gym?
Now we got some decisions to make. I'm not even sure if I can find a 6-foot rack.
Let's go.
I'm 6'3", so
let's go 6'6". Let's go 6'6" ceiling basement gym.
Yeah, I'm in the basement. Yep,
okay.
I'm still in the basement.
All right. All right. What about 7-foot ceiling basement gym versus 11-foot ceiling garage gym?
Basement. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still in the basement for sure.
Full rogue gym or a full rep gym?
This is a good question.
That's a tough one.
Because when I'm picturing like a full rogue gym, I'm picturing like the athletes where they deck out their gyms, which are amazing. Being in the home gym community currently though, and like with Rep's new releases, I'm going to say a full rep gym. Yeah, I'm going full rep gym. That's a good question.
Okay.
How would you answer that one? Yeah.
Man, I mean, I'm thinking about like the Rhino and
just how like modular they can do like the entire thing all around all the walls, all connected. And yeah, Rogue can build it out pretty well, but man, I think I'm still going.
Man, I think I'm going rep.
Yeah.
With their
great
latest
question.
stuff, yeah. I think I'm going rep, and I think like in a year that answer may even be easier.
Yeah.
You know,
if trends continue the way they have, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I can't remember. Do I have another one? Nope.
That's
I like that segment.
I want to see if I can.
Yeah,
I want to see if I can grab some for you next week. Would you rather with Jake?
Yeah,
that was a good one. Sweet. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. If you liked tonight's episode, be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to be following HomeGymCon. We are 30 days out of the second ever HomeGymCon, and it's building to be a good one. So even if you can't be there, we have tons of content coming out afterwards, but we'd rather you just be there in person. So go to homegymcon.com or follow HomeGymCon on your socials. Jake, anything else left for the listeners? All righty, guys. We'll catch you next time. And yeah, thanks for listening.